Hi everyone, and welcome to our first Toolkit webinar that we're running in a series of webinars about the CrossCountry Toolkit. I'm Helen, one of the co-founders of CrossCountry app.
And I'm Josie.
Josie is on our customer support. Many of you have probably talked to her before when she's answered your queries. And you may not know me, I'm the lead product designer at CrossCountry app. So the topic for our first webinar is on collaboration. And the reason we chose collaboration is two reasons. So we sent out a survey last year to all our Toolkit users asking for feedback. And one of our questions was asking which features you've used in the CrossCountry Toolkit. And a lot of you hadn't tried collaboration. And it's a really powerful feature that will make your lives more efficient and help you work together with your team much better. So we really want to show you how to use these powerful collaboration features. And the second reason is now more than ever, with the situation we're currently in with a lot of people being locked down, it's really important that you can work together over the internet. And especially if you're experimenting with some new cross-country course designs, you can start playing around with them in the toolkit at the moment and then share them with your team.
So the topics we're going to cover in this webinar are first of all, what is collaboration with the toolkit, why you would do it, how you do it, and very important, who should you do it with. We've also had some feedback regarding communication between course designers and course builders to see if there's anything we can do to enhance that, and we'd like to show you some possibilities. And in the live seminars, we have question and answers and discussion. So what is Toolkit collaboration? Well, it's the ability for the owner or creator of a course to share it privately and securely with other Toolkit users. That's really important because obviously there could be some very sensitive information here that you don't want the rest of the world to see. And the collaborators who you choose can either have edit access, so they can change the course, or they can just have view-only access. And why do collaboration? Well, because organizing an event is something like sometimes like herding cats. There's a lot of information. It can change very rapidly, particularly in the last week or so of the lead up to a competition. And what you don't want is a situation where people are working with old, out-of-date information, or if they don't have enough information. Just an example of that could be your technical delegate or the ground jury may request some changes to the course. They may want some renumbering. 21 ABC may become 21 AB and 22, for example. Now, it can happen that that information doesn't filter through to the person who's printing the maps, and so they end up being out of sync, which obviously is very confusing. And a lot of people need to know about the cross-country course, very simply. So how does Toolkit collaboration help? Well, everybody has the course information in a handy format and when they need it. It takes out the guesswork, is something that Brett Ryan, one of the course builders in Australia, said. And he was referring, for example, to the ability for a course designer to put a sketch or a picture of a type of fence that he wants built into a course. And then Brett knows exactly what's required. It's an up-to-date single source. Now, this is something that we see quite a lot in events, is that often there's duplication of information. You may have one person maintaining a list of fences for the maps, and then you have a different list for the cross-country control, for example. And having a single source and using that, it means that you're getting the most out of your course designs. It's more secure than just emailing a link. That is something that a lot of you have probably done, is it's possible to simply email a link so that people can view a course that hasn't been published. But that link could then be forwarded to anybody else by email, so you don't know exactly who is currently accessing the course. They have to have an account to be a collaborator. Also, it means that if you've made a change to the course and perhaps issued an updated version, people are always going to see that updated version. It's easy to manage. The course that you share with your collaborators will appear in their Toolkit listing, so they can find it easily. And very importantly, it can reduce your workload. As a course designer, you have a whole wealth of information in your head, or as an organizer, and people need that information. And if they have to keep coming to you to ask questions, it slows everything down. And it also means that other people can do tasks like printing the maps, adding photographs before you publish. And that takes some of the weight off your shoulders.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to collaborate in the toolkit. And just in case our internet is not so great, we're just going to be working with screenshots because every man and their dog is on the internet right now. So first up, go to the CrossCountry toolkit in your browser. So the URL for the toolkit is www.toolkit.crosscountryapp.com. And you can go to this on your desktop or mobile phone, but I'll be showing you how to do the flow on your desktop. And when you come into the toolkit, you'll see the list of events that you have courses in or are a collaborator on these courses. So click on the event and open the course that you want to invite someone to. So now we're in the course, and to invite a person to collaborate on a course with you, in the top right corner, you'll see there's a plus button. So click the plus button. And then you'll see this invite collaborators dialog come up. So search for the person that you want to share with. So either type in their username in the CrossCountry toolkit or type in their email address. And once you've found the person, you can then decide whether to give them edit access or view access to the course. Now, if you give someone edit access to a course, then they can change the track, they can move any jumps, they can change the course properties, and they can edit the print map settings. There are a few things they can't do, so they can't invite other people to collaborate on the course. Only the owner of the course can do that, and they can't delete the course. And with view only permissions, that means that they can just view the course. It will appear in their events list in the toolkit, so it'll be easy for them to find the course, but they can't make any changes. And we'll go into a bit more detail later on about who you should what permissions you should give to different people in your team. Now, if you're working together with several people on a course, one good thing, just to be safe, is to duplicate the course before inviting people to work on it with you. So this means if someone makes some changes to the course, deletes some jumps, and you lose some information, you always have a copy you can go back to and work on. And to do this, open the event that the course is listed in and hover your mouse over the course, and you'll see the 3 dots appear. So click on that, and then there is the option to either duplicate the course or delete it. And when you duplicate a course, all the people that have that are collaborators on that course, they won't be collaborators on the new course, so you'll need to invite them again. So once you've invited a person to collaborate on a course with you, they will receive an email. It'll tell you that you've been added as a collaborator and the name of the course, and then a button so they can go and easily view the course. So in the top right corner, you can see who has access to your course. So you'll see this course has 4 people collaborating on it. There's the owner, and then 3 people on the right of that. And one of the handy things about the toolkit is you can update your profile picture, and that just makes it easier to see who people are collaborating with. So the way you can update your profile picture is in the top right where you have your name. There's a little arrow on the right. Right click that and click manage my account. And then that's where you can update your profile picture. So you can change who has access to your course at any time and what their permissions are as well. And to do that, you can just click on the plus button in the top right, or you can click on any of the collaborators' profile pictures. And then you'll see here, there's some options. So you can change their access from edit to view or view to edit. And you can also resend the invite if they haven't received the invite. And this resend invite option is also handy if you've made changes to the course and you want to update them. So you can just type in a note here and click resend invite, and they will receive an email with your notes, and they can easily view the course. So that was the desktop flow for adding collaborators, and you can do all of this on the mobile in the toolkit as well. So if you go to the toolkit in the browser on your smartphone, so maybe in Google Chrome or Safari, whichever one you use, and then type in toolkit.crosscountry.com, that's how you access the toolkit on your smartphone. And to invite collaborators, you click the little person plus button in the top right corner. And on this screen, you'll also see there's a download cloud icon. So that is how you download the course from the toolkit onto CrossCountry Android or iPhone app. And that's really handy if you're going out onto the course and you want to take more photos or add notes in, and you won't have any reception because you'll be able to make those edits all offline. And then you just need to upload it back into the toolkit.
So who would you share the courses with? Well, we've done a little workflow here, going from months before the competition, possibly even a year before, right up to the competition week itself. And initially, you have the course designer who has created the course. You may have duplicated a course from a previous year, which you're editing. You can add queries into that, which could be for the organizer, for example. You could ask, yes, we want to build I'd like to add a keyhole here. Do we have a budget for it? You can add building instructions for your course builder, and you add your collaborators. And then you will share that with the organizer, who can review the course, who can answer any queries, discuss the budget. The organizer then down the track will add final fence names. The course designer will probably have working fence names such as green roll top, but the organizer will add the final fence names with the sponsors. The organizer would then print the maps. You can also share with the technical delegate. It's useful for them to see the course before they actually arrive. Often for national level courses, the technical delegate may not arrive until the Friday before the competition. So everything's very compressed and rushed. And so the TD or the TA, it can review and comment on the course, and also they can use the course afterwards when they have to do their reporting, because they can extract a lot of information out of the course, such as the distance, optimum time, all the fences, and so on. You can share with your course builder, who would then read the instructions as they build the course. And finally, the volunteer coordinator will also find the courses very valuable because they'll know how many fence judges they need to assign. Now, when it gets close to the competition, the cross-country controllers find the courses very useful. They can have them up on a laptop or a monitor for reference while they're controlling. They can print out photos. There's a facility under the Advanced tab in the course review page where you can print out, you can download a zip file of all the photos and print those out. And often they like to stick those up in the control box.
I'll show you where that is. So see on the right of there's the course properties when you open the course, and there's 2 tabs. So click on advanced, and that's where you can download a zip file of all the photos.
Excellent. The other person who finds the courses really useful are the scorers, because you can export a spreadsheet with all the jump numbers, and then they can just import those into the scoring system. I'll show you how to do that later. The ground jury find the courses really useful. There are a lot of them who I've spoken to who have the CrossCountry app. They really appreciate having the courses for reference. And if they are from overseas and they don't have a lot of data, they can download them to their CrossCountry app, so they've got them independently of the internet. The commentator also finds the course useful because you can generate a lot of statistics, measurements of times and distances that they can add to their commentary. And the volunteers, when it comes to dressing and numbering the fences, sometimes you might have quite inexperienced volunteers, parents at a lower level course, for example, who don't know their way around. And so the courses can really help them find which fences to put the numbers on and which to dress or put sponsorship signs. And you can also get them to take photos of their dressed fences, and then they can be added into the courses before they're published. So then finally, you can come to publish the courses in the week of the competition. And we really encourage you to do that because the riders and the fans love them, not just for during this competition, but also for the future when they're thinking of perhaps competing at your event later. And also really, really useful for the fence judges. I've often been fence judging and been sitting, waiting, doing the radio check, and there's some poor fence judge who can't find their fence. They can actually have the courses on their CrossCountry app, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, and they can press the location awareness button, and it will show them where they are on their course relative to the jump they're looking for. So that would really help them find their way around and reduce the stress.
Yeah, that's much easier to navigate than just using a paper map.
Now, other possibilities of people you could share with, there's a lot of mentoring these days where a less experienced course designer will be able to refer to a more experienced designer. And so obviously the ability to share your course with them without having to be face-to-face is really useful. Vets and medics need to know where things are on the cross-country course, and also health and safety people. And we know that there are many other people who find it very useful to have the courses, and our users are telling us about that all the time.
So I showed you how to share the course by adding collaborators before, and now I'll show you how to share course links and also embed it in your event website. So to do that, you click on the big green share button in the top right, and then you'll see that you can copy these share links, and you can share it straight to Facebook or Twitter, and just by clicking the Facebook or the Twitter icon. And then when you share it to your Facebook page or Twitter, then anyone can click that and just view it in the online web app. And so that's great to do in the days preceding your event and get people excited, get a buzz happening. And then if you click on the embed tab, that is where you'll get all the code to embed the courses in your website. And like Josie was saying previously, if you embed the courses in your website, then that gives the courses a lot of longevity. So the next year when someone is coming to enter your event and wants to check it out, they can look at the courses on your website. So you can just add that code yourself or send it to your webmaster. Now you can also just copy the link and email that to anyone, or you can just paste that when you're doing your Facebook post, or You could put it in your Instagram bio, for example. And if you send that online link to anyone, they can view it in the online web app. And then there's a download button there, so they can then download it to their iPhone or Android. And you'll see down below, there's a download to iOS link. And so if you want to send it to someone and they download it straight away onto the iPhone app, you just send them that link, and when they click it, it'll open in the iPhone app. If you send it to someone who has an Android app, just send them the view online link, and they will open that in the online web app and then click download.
Now, finally, there's another area which we want to talk about, in particular, is communicating with your course builder. Now, course builders often like to work with paper because it's easier for them when they're out on course in their machine to have a paper printout that they can refer to and just cross tasks off the list as they do them, or write written notes on them. And they can then get instructions fence by fence. Now, this is already possible, but there are some enhancements we could do to the format and to the information that we give to the course builder. So we'd like to get some feedback on that. So the stats button is something that you may not have explored, and there's a whole wealth of information under there. You can see here that you get a list of all the fences and all the information about each fence. So you've got the number, the name, the striding, if you've got that in there, and you have the number of minutes and seconds from the start, and the distance, and then to the finish, and then between the fences, and then you've got your comments. And this information is derived either from the measured distance and information that you've got in the course, or if the final optimum time and distance have been entered, all these statistics relate to that. So it's really useful actually as an organizer, if you're just preparing your maps, to just look at this report, just to check that you've got all your fence names correct and everything's right. To actually export this information, because this would be quite a few pages to print out, on the top right you can see there's an export button with various options, and the bottom one is efforts only as a CSV. Now, a CSV file is a sort of spreadsheet, a general spreadsheet file that can be opened with Excel or other spreadsheet programs.
And you can send this to your course builder or your scorer.
So this is an example output. So you'll see it's a lot more compressed, and what the scorer can do is just copy the appropriate column with all the numbers and paste that into the scoring system. And that saves a lot of time, and also means that there's no danger of mistyping a number and getting information wrongly in there. So what we've been looking at is making a simpler report from there, which would split out all the information about the times and distances and so on, and which would just give a simple name, number, comment, and so on. So we're looking for feedback on there as to whether there's any other information needed. Now, I wonder, Helen, could you just go back to the previous page?
Sure.
I mentioned sharing with the commentator, and this is where all these time and distance statistics come in handy, because the commentator can say things like they've got a minute to get home from 21AB, or they're now halfway around the course, or this is a really intense minute because there's 6 fences in it. And that really helps them enrich their commentary. And a lot of them calculate this sort of thing manually. And so if you can give them this report, they'll absolutely love you for it. So that's it. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. If you don't have a sign up yet for the toolkit, please do so for free. at crosscountryapp.com/toolkit. And we look forward to seeing you live online for future webinars.